Just so you know, this drama is insane. And we're starting off with a story titled, I Just Found Out My Late Half-Sister Is Still Alive. This story came January 1st, 2018. I'm flipping a shite, you guys. My sister and I hadn't been close at all, given the age difference, the fact that she lived across the country, and the parent that we share was horrifically abusive towards me. Still, when she was diagnosed with cancer in 2013, I helped by sending her some money here and there. She ended up getting a lot worse, and when I dropped out of college for unrelated reasons, I worked several jobs so I could help her out a lot more financially. I got the news that she passed away in the summer of 2016, and I was invited to attend the service, although I couldn't because I wasn't able to get the time off of work. Fast forward to today. When I get a request from her social media account and looking through her posts, she's not only alive, but way better off than I am. Can you imagine just existing in your regular day and your deceased sibling follows you and messages you on Instagram? I would probably think it was like a catfish and someone like made a fake profile. I'm glad she's not deceased, but what the hell? I haven't said anything to her because I'm not sure A, how to confront her about it, and B, what I even want. I don't think I want to have a relationship with her given what went down, but mostly my mind is reeling and I'm trying to make sense of it. Yeah, because what if you actually went and attended the service for her? Was there what would have happened there? I have a lot of questions. There is an update which came 10 days later, January 11th. After going through her profile, it was clear that it was definitely her. You guys encouraged me to talk to her to find out what happened. It took me a bit to come up with the will to do so, but I finally did. I sent her a very short but polite message saying I was glad that she seemed to be doing well, but I was confused because I had been told that she passed away. Apparently, our father told her that I was a huge source of negativity and that it was unhealthy for her to have me in her life while she was going through cancer. She told me she didn't believe that, but that he offered to pay for her treatments and such in full if she just cut contact with me forever. And then they came to the conclusion together that it would be better for me if I thought that she had passed away. Insane.
This is madness. It's madness, I tell you.
She told me that she was reaching out now because he had given her permission to, as he felt I was in a better place now. I was pretty furious when I read that, especially since I had been helping her out financially and in pretty significant amounts. I know how stressful medical bills are and how much of a relief it would be if someone offered to completely take care of me. But at the same time, I hate that our relationship had a price tag. We grew pretty close, at least I thought so, even commiserating about how awful that man had made our lives, but he was able to just swoop in so easily and manipulate us again. I didn't know what to say at first, so I let myself cool down, talked about it with my partner, and then ultimately decided to let her know that I appreciated her telling me the truth and that I'm glad she's well, but that I'd prefer if we didn't talk much going forward, as I was really hurt by what she did and I didn't want any avenue for our father to have any contact, much less control over my life. Yeah, I don't know how you possibly come back from that. I really don't. Let's check out some of the top comments because OOP gave some more information. So some people told OOP to get the money back that she gave to her sister. And OOP said, I'm not really interested in getting the money back. Of course, it would be immensely helpful since I'm at the moment trying to go back to school, still trying to pay off my own medical debt and playing with the idea of a wedding, but that wasn't money taken from me unfairly. At the time, she was really in a spot where she needed it, and I was happy to be able to help. Plus, I had a sister for a while because of it, so I'm okay with just letting that go. And then apparently this is a comment from OOP that sums it up a little bit more. She wrote, there are a lot of emotions I have to work through still. I feel hugely betrayed by this, especially because it was never a situation where she was faced with the decision of cutting out your sister or pass away. She wasn't having to turn down treatment, just didn't want to be shackled with all of the debt. I'm really frustrated and really hurt, and maybe I'm holding her to too high of a standard because I know situations are different for different people, but I was somewhat recently in and out of the hospital for a heart condition, and I would have given anything to have family that actually cared about me around. I don't know. Either way, I'm resolved to more or less avoid her, so I'm just trying to put it out of my head. I don't know how I would handle that situation. I can't even pretend to know how I would handle that. You'd be feeling every type of emotion: confusion, anger, sadness, betrayal, so many different things. I really want to know what the plan was if you had gone and showed up to the service. Like, what was your dad's plan with that? I don't know. Next story, I just learned my husband has feelings for my sister-in-law and hates my brother. Fake names. Sister-in-law is going to be Kate. My brother, which is Kate's husband, is going to be Charlie. And my husband is going to be Jack. I love when we get a little storyboard. That's so helpful. I've been married to Jack for 4 years and we've been together since high school. Our marriage is pretty great. We have our ups and downs, but we usually are able to work through it and talk about our feelings like adults. We were just starting to discuss having children before this came up. Now things are a mess and I don't know what to do. Charlie and Kate have been married for 5 years and have also been together since high school. My brother and I have been extremely close since we were kids. He's always been there for me and I love him with all of my heart. Kate is a wonderful person and is one of my best friends. She's my family now too, and I love her to death. She's sweet, funny, and a great friend. Charlie and Kate have a great marriage. Honestly, even better than my own. They're a real team, they're always there for each other, and you can tell that they really love each other. From what I know, they're currently trying to conceive. I am so excited to be an aunt. We've all gotten along until now. This is the first time that anything has happened. About 2 weeks ago, Charlie invited us over to have a few drinks and hang out at their place to celebrate Kate's birthday. It was going okay at first. We talked about having kids and our jobs and just generally caught up. Jack ended up drinking way too much. He started flirting with Kate and she was obviously uncomfortable, told Jack to stop it multiple times and tried to stay away from him. Charlie started getting irritated, rightly so. Jack was flirting with his wife and being a drunken idiot, and told Jack to stop. Again, multiple times. I also tried to get Jack to knock it off and shut up, but he wouldn't, and I was honestly pissed off too. Jack got pissed when Charlie tried to intervene. He told Charlie how much he hated him and wished that he was dead, then went on to confess how much he loves Kate and wishes that he would have ended up with her. How does all of that just come out in like a chill, casual, drunken hangout? Jack decided to try to kiss and touch Kate. She freaked out and Charlie was done. He told us both to get the F out. I dragged Jack out of there and I was just shocked and disgusted at his behavior. Yeah, I don't know how you possibly defend your husband in that moment. The next day, Jack told me that he did have feelings for Kate and was resentful of Charlie because of it. He told me that he loved me and would never cheat on me. He was drunk and what he did was a mistake. He apologized over and over again for his behavior, promised me he loved me and wanted to be with me, etc. Isn't that kind of contradicting though? I love you and want to be with you, but I'm also resentful and I love someone else and I wish I ended up with them. The math is not mathing, and I'm not very good at math. Actually, I'm terrible at math. He apologized to Charlie and Kate for what happened, but they aren't happy. I'm still not sure how to feel. His behavior was awful, inappropriate, and borderline assault. It also makes me feel crappy that he hates my brother. I talked to Charlie the other day. He told me that he isn't comfortable having Jack around anymore, especially around Kate. Apparently, she's pretty shaken up by what happened, the unwanted touching and attempted kiss and love confession, and incredibly uncomfortable around Jack. I understand completely. But now I'm stuck. I'm just angry, upset, and unsure what to do now. I don't want my relationship with my brother and sister-in-law to be ruined because Jack is an a-hole. I don't know what to do about Jack's confession. It honestly makes me feel sick to my stomach. It all came out of nowhere. Everything was great before this. We were all friends. Now my husband apparently loves another woman and wishes my brother was dead. I want to salvage this because I do love Jack. I really do, but I have no idea where to start. I want to be a part of my future niece's or nephew's life. I want to be able to be around my brother and my sister-in-law because they're wonderful people and I love them so much. It's all crashing down and I don't know how to handle it. Is there a way to work through this? What should I do? Can I salvage this? Any perspective, advice, and opinions? Personally, I don't know if I could come back from that, especially because it's family and stuff. They're going to be around for the rest of your life. And now you're always going to have that in your head. Every single one of them, Charlie, Kate, and yourself are always going to have that in that dynamic. dynamic for the rest of your lives. Like, you can't forget something like that. But we have an update, so let's see what happened. The update came April 25th, 2016, which is just 2 days later. A lot has happened in the past day, but in the end, I think I am making the right choice. To be honest, I think I knew this is what I had to do all along, but I was in denial. I want to start off by thanking everyone for their advice, kind words, and even the tough love, because we all know that Reddit will give tough love. I've decided to end our marriage and get a divorce ASAP. It's heartbreaking and painful for me to do this, but honestly, I don't think I could live with knowing my husband loves another woman and also assaulted her in front of me. The fact that this is my sister-in-law makes it even worse. I don't think we could come back from this, and I would always feel like I wasn't his first choice. Plus, he touched and kissed Kate without her consent, which is an awful thing to do by itself. Yeah. I'd say. I sat down and I really thought about what happened and how it made me feel. It made me feel disgusted, hurt, and angry. It made me feel like an idiot. It broke my heart. I couldn't believe the man I loved, the man I have been with for almost a decade of my life, would betray me and hurt me like this. It almost doesn't feel real. To think we were going to have kids, to think I trusted him and gave him all the love that I could. It hurts. A lot of you suggested that maybe he married me so that he could be close to Kate. We sat down last night, I showed him your comments, and he broke down. He admitted to me that yes, he did marry me to be closer to her. It's always been her. From day one of our relationship, it's been a ploy to stay close to Kate. Not only is this devastating to me, but it's extremely creepy, and I feel bad that Kate ever had to even be around Jack. His intentions were almost predatory. Who knows what he would have done to Kate if her husband and I haven't been there to intervene? I honestly think he would have done some truly horrible things to her given the chance. Ugh. He begged me to stay, he promised he loved me, said he could get over Kate and that he wanted me. I was his soulmate, and we were meant to be together. He would go to therapy to work on his issues and we would be okay. He was sobbing and begging and trying to convince me to stay. I wasn't listening to it. I'm done. He's a liar and he's been lying to me for years. He's creepy, horrible, and I can't live with him knowing what he did and how he truly feels. I called Charlie to talk to him about everything. Like always, he's there for me. He's incredibly pissed at Jack because of what Jack did to Kate. Kate is still shaken up and upset. She feels violated, and her trust in Jack, someone she considered her friend for years, has been destroyed. Charlie told me that if I had chosen to stay with Jack, it was very likely our relationship would have died right then and there. Charlie told me he refused to talk to anybody who believed what Jack did to Kate was okay or forgivable, even if that somebody was me. He also thinks what Jack did to me for all these years is beyond cruel, and he's angry about that too. I still have to contact a lawyer and get things in order. It's only been a day since I've made my decision, but you were all so helpful to me. In the end, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law are the people that matter the most to me. They're my real family, the people who love me, and they're here to support me through the decision. I'm young, there's still hope for me to find someone who sincerely loves me, and there's still hope of starting a family. There's still time left for all of that. I would rather take a chance of finding someone new than staying with Jack. It doesn't end there though. We actually have another update that came later that day, apparently. The update says, to address some concerns, we have a bullet point list here. I will be extra careful and keep an eye out for anything Jack tries to do. Like many of you said, his obsession is unraveling, so we might do something drastic. I'm going to contact my lawyer ASAP to start seeing what I can do, change all of my passwords, get my bank accounts in order, etc. I also have removed any information of my future whereabouts and plans, as some of you suggested. Great idea. Next, I'm going to book an appointment with a therapist. I feel like it would benefit me and help me work through this whole thing. Team therapy. You guys know that. I will always push. Team therapy. Kate doesn't want to talk to or interact with Jack, but she is thinking about getting a restraining order. Understandably, she doesn't feel safe around Jack at all and would rather have nothing to do with him. She's also going to be extra careful since she's the person of Jack's obsession, and he'll probably try contacting her and doing something crazy. Charlie is there to protect her. He is a former Marine, he's 6'3", and he is pretty dang intimidating. So I'm sure they'll both be okay. We are all here for each other. Next, some people don't believe this is real because of my timeline. I said we've been together since high school in my last post, but then said almost a decade in this post. This was a mistake. I meant to type over a decade. I can't prove the validity of my story, so you'll just have to take my word for it. I don't really feel the need to explain myself here. You either believe me or you don't. It's a bizarre situation. I can't explain Jack's behavior any better than you can. Next, on the bright side, Charlie and Kate are still trying for a baby, so there's a pretty good chance I'll be an aunt in the near future. There is still hope for me to find the one. In the meantime, I'm going to focus on me and move on from this whole thing. I need to hear from you guys. Are you forgiving Jack? Do you think there's a way to come back from that as family, as wife and husband? Let me know. Before the next story, let's hop on Hydration Station. We got a party solo cup today, baby. It's a Monday. I was gonna say it's the weekend. No, it's not. Cheers. Drink your water. You guys, if you thought my neighbor drama stories were crazy, you need to watch the new Netflix documentary called The Perfect Neighbor. It is the most insane Karen neighbor story you will ever witness. Also, though, it's very tragic and sad. I bawled my eyes out hysterically. But it's a crazy story. It's like a 1.5 hour, 1 episode thing. Watch it and let me know what you think. It's absolutely insane. Next story. I cheated on my fiance at my bachelorette party and I don't know how to move forward. Oh boy. This story came December 4th, 2024. I just did the worst thing that I could possibly do, and I just want to confess to everyone, but I can't. I know for a fact the most important relationship of my entire life is ruined. My fiance, Alex, these are all fake names, male 32, and I, 28, have been together for 4 years, and we were supposed to get married on the 28th of December. We had our bachelor and bachelorette parties last weekend because everyone was in town for the holiday. That is why we're having the wedding on the 28th. Everyone will be here anyway for the holiday, so coming to the wedding just won't be a big thing. Alex is everything I want in a man. Is he though? He's kind, he's funny and charming, he's tall and handsome, he's helpful, he's a leader, he's successful at his work with a great future, he's really thoughtful. Our sex life is very satisfying to me, and I think to him as well. He's not perfect, of course, and we have our disagreements like any other people, but we're great together. I feel safe and loved with him. When we first got together, the subject of our past partners came up. I didn't have a lot of past partners as all of my relationships were long-term. I had 3 boyfriends before Alex. The previous one was Jake. Jake was gorgeous. He had a very magnetic personality and always dominated whatever room we walked into. I felt so lucky when he chose me to be his girlfriend. We had a very intense physical connection that I sort of lost myself in. In every other way, Jake was terrible. He cheated on me. He stood me up on multiple occasions. He forgot important events like my birthday and my best friend's engagement party. I finally broke up with him. He didn't seem to care about it though, which hurt. He just ghosted me when I said enough. The reason I mention this is because I told Alex about Jake. At first, he didn't connect the dots, but when I described Jake, he asked me if it was Jake and then his last name. I said, "How do you know?" And he told me that Jake had stolen his girlfriend from high school when they were all freshmen in college. Ooh, what a connection to have. It really hurt Alex as he thought that he would marry this girl. Jake later dumped her and she tried to get back with Alex, but Alex rejected her, telling me that she was disgusting. Alex was quiet around me for a few days after that, but he came around, thankfully. Girl, are you gonna be cheating with your ex? I don't know. The possibility is creeping up on me. Sassy senses, you know? During my bachelorette party last weekend, one of my bridesmaids, Claire, invited a bunch of our old friend group to the Airbnb that we were renting as a surprise. I thought they had all moved away, but they showed up, and yes, you guessed it, Jake was there too. I freaking knew it, you know? Just so smart. I was pretty drunk, but I can't say I didn't know what I was doing. Jake was still really good looking and he talked only to me that night. He only flirted with me and nobody else. He was charming and my inhibitions were down and we eventually went to a bedroom and we had sex. The next morning, I was mortified. I told Jake that it meant nothing and that he needed to leave and not get in contact with me again. Jake told me that he had changed and was a serious person and serious about me. I told him to go and to please just shut up and leave. He seemed sad, but he left. I made sure to make him swear to forget all about it, and he did swear. I told Claire to keep quiet about it and to not tell anybody about Jake. She was the only one who really knew about our past relationship as she was part of the friend group. She agreed and said it was no big deal and one last fling before marriage. Yeah, that's not a friend of mine. Let me tell you. I think she was the only one who saw us go back to the bedroom, but I can't be sure. All I know is that Jake and I were the least drunk people there, and we were pretty drunk. Meanwhile, it's been eating at me all this time. I can't sleep or eat. I'm afraid my wedding dress will be too big for me because I have this fear in the pit of my stomach, and I throw up when I think about Jake and what I did, which is all the time. I think about it all the time. I have to confess to someone, so I think a bunch of internet strangers is the easiest way to do it. I know I'm terrible and I know I effed this up. I can't lose Alex. Why didn't I think of him when I was there on Saturday? Why didn't I consider Alex? I am such an effing idiot. He's the best thing that ever happened to me, and Jake is the worst. Alex has started to notice my changed attitude. I lied to him again and told him that I think I'm coming down with the flu and that he should stay away for a few days. Meanwhile, I'm crying my eyes out in bed, and Alex is being his useful, great self and bringing me homemade chicken noodle soup that his mom made. I can't tell him, but I can't stand this. Does it ever go away over time? Feel free to demean me. I deserve it. It's not fake or rage bait. I honestly wish it was. I wish this was just a nightmare. FML. You're not gonna like my advice, but it's gonna be to tell the truth. Separate, go your separate ways. Alex is going to be extra. It's going to hit him even worse. It would hit him one way if you cheated on him with a stranger, but the fact you cheated on him with Jake, given the history, ain't no coming back from that. This relationship is over. The update came December 9th. Ooh, we're so close to the wedding. Stop waiting. Tell this man. All right. The truth is out. Thank God. Alex knows, and the consequences have been worse than I could have imagined. I have no one to blame but myself. Thursday evening, Alex didn't come home after work. I thought maybe he was staying late, but around 9 p.m. I got a text from him. It was a photo of me and Jake kissing at my bachelorette party. No words, just a photo. I panicked and immediately texted Claire asking if she told Alex. She replied that he deserved to know the truth. I don't think she did it to be malicious. Maybe she was feeling guilty herself, but at the moment, I was freaking out. I started spamming Alex's phone with calls and texts begging him to talk to me. He left me on red. Then I logged onto social media and saw that Alex had posted that our wedding was canceled because the woman I thought I was marrying turned out to be someone I didn't know. And that's in quotations. So that's literally what he wrote. People started calling and messaging me, asking what was going on, and I didn't know what to say. I panicked and lied, telling them we had a huge argument, but that we were going to work it out. Meanwhile, Alex was replying to comments under his post, saying things like, "She knows what she did," and "There's nothing left to say." Friday night, Jake showed up at the apartment. He said he was sorry, claimed he didn't know Alex was my fiance, and tried to explain himself. I told him it didn't matter. What we did ruined the best thing in my life, and I wanted Jake gone. I told him to leave and not come back. He tried to linger, saying something about how we could figure this out, but I slammed the door on him. He makes my skin crawl. Well, you had no problem with your skin being all over his a few weeks ago. Then on Saturday morning, the hammer dropped. Alex's older brother, Mark, showed up with 2 of Alex's groomsmen. They knocked, came in, and started packing up Alex's things. His clothes, his personal items, even some of the furniture that belonged to him. I tried to talk to them, begging them to tell me where Alex was or how I could reach him, but they just ignored me or told me they didn't know where he was, which is probably a lie. Mark kept repeating that there was nothing to talk about. When they were done, Mark told me that Alex wanted me to keep the engagement ring. He said Alex didn't want it back because he had no use for it and selling it wouldn't make up for what had happened. He also told me that Alex would be sending a check to cover my share of the canceled wedding costs and that his half of the lease was paid for. I begged Mark to at least put Alex on the phone with me and that he deserved some kind of closure by yelling at me, or at least I'd be able to apologize where he could hear my voice. He just said Alex has all the closure he needs and to stop contacting him and just leave him alone, and that I've done enough. Mark used to be so kind to me like a big brother. He was excited about the wedding, calling himself the future crazy uncle. Now he was cold and distant, talking like I was just a stranger. Obviously. Like, come on now. That is when it really hit me. Alex was gone and my life was gone too. I can't afford to stay in the apartment. Alex paid the rent and utilities while I handled groceries, cooking, and chores. I don't make enough as a personal trainer to cover everything on my own, and I let my certification lapse months ago because we planned on being a traditional stay-at-home wife and mother after the wedding, which is something I really wanted. I've started packing my things and I'll be moving back in with my parents. I haven't told them the full story yet, just that the wedding is off. They've been supportive, but I know the full conversation is coming and it's going to be excruciating. My friends are avoiding me too. Some have unfollowed me on social media, and Claire hasn't responded to any of my messages since she told Alex. I don't even know how to begin rebuilding my life from this. I've lost everything that mattered to me because of one selfish, stupid decision. Alex was my rock, my future, and the best thing that ever happened to me, and I threw it all away for nothing. I betrayed him in the worst way possible, and I'll have to live with that for the rest of my life. He won't even talk to me. It's driving me crazy that I can't at least apologize to him in person. Now I have to figure out how to pick up the pieces. My life as I knew it is gone, and I have no one to blame but myself. I don't really know what else to say because, she's taking the accountability of, biggest mistake, and now you're facing the consequences. What do we say here, you guys? What do we say about cheaters? If you can't stay loyal, stay single. It's really that simple, Let me know your thoughts and feelings. I'll see you in the comment section. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. Bye.